Welcome back to Disney Hotel Diaries. Today we are taking a deep dive into the Hyatt House at Anaheim Resort. Now this place is so close to the park you can practically smell the churros. But some of the recent guest reviews have me raising an eyebrow. So is this the perfect home base for your Disney adventure, or is it a bit of a risky gamble? Let's figure it out.
First things first, let's talk about the hotel's absolute biggest selling point, location. We are talking a single block away from the Disneyland entrance. Just think about that. That means no waiting for crowded shuttles, no forking over cash for parking, just more time for magic. It's a really modern-looking building, right in the thick of it all.
So yeah, with a location that good, you've got to be wondering if this is the perfect spot, whether you're there for a Disney vacation or maybe even a business trip at the convention center. Let's break it all down.
And you know what? Guests completely agree. They've given the location a stellar 4.7 out of 5 stars. And that's not just a handful of people. That rating is based on over 3,400 reviews. So it's a pretty safe bet you're going to love being this close to the parks.
But a great location is just one piece of the puzzle, right? What about the rooms themselves? I mean, even on a Disney vacation, you're going to spend some time there. So let's take a look inside.
The hotel has a mix of studios and one-bedroom suites, and the good news is a lot of them have been recently renovated. We're talking a clean, modern style, stylish furniture, fresh colors. It's definitely a nice change of pace from some of the older, kind of dated hotels you can find in the area. Okay, but for many families, this is the real game changer, the kitchenette. Most rooms come with a full-size fridge, a microwave, and even a stovetop. Just think about how much money that can save you, especially with Disney food prices being what they are. This is a huge, huge plus. And of course, you'll get all the standard stuff you'd expect, free Wi-Fi, a swiveling HD TV, but it's the little touches that really make a difference, like having allergy-free room options and, my personal favorite, blackout curtains. Absolutely essential for getting a good night's sleep after walking all day. And hey, speaking of value, let's talk about the free hot breakfast. This is a massive perk, and guests absolutely rave about it. In a tourist trap area where everything costs an arm and a leg, getting a free, hearty breakfast is a huge win for your wallet.
Now, for those days when you're not at the parks, the hotel has a pretty nice pool and patio area where you can just relax and soak up some of that California sun. They even have BBQ grills, which is a fantastic option if you just want a casual dinner without going out.
But this might be my favorite amenity of all. It's called the Borrows menu. It's such a cool idea. You can borrow anything from a blender, say for your morning smoothie, to board games for a family game night. It's a small thing, but it really shows the hotel is thinking about how to make your stay better.
Hey, if you're finding this deep dive helpful, could you do me a huge favor? Just take a second to hit that like button and subscribe for more Disneyland Hotel Diaries. We have a lot more hotels to get through, and you are not going to want to miss out.
All right, so the official features sound great on paper, but what's the real story? What are people who have actually stayed there saying? Let's open up the guest book and find out.
And this is where things get a little complicated. On the one hand, you have guests just raving about the location, the friendly staff, that free breakfast. But on the other hand, there are some pretty serious complaints about ongoing renovations. We're talking noise, strange smells, and even overbooking.
So you'll see a lot of reviews like this one from Nicholas. He calls it the perfect Disney home base with outstanding service, and says you can't beat being within walking distance to Disneyland. He's highlighting that core strength of the hotel for sure.
But then you see reviews like this one, and this is a recurring and pretty serious complaint. This anonymous guest describes a bait-and-switch situation. Basically, because of the renovations, the hotel didn't have the room they reserved ready for them. That's a huge problem, especially when you've traveled a long way. And it's not just the big issues either. There are these smaller but consistent complaints that keep popping up. Some guests have mentioned a sewage smell in the elevators and hallways, definitely not what you want on vacation. Others have said the beds are just a little too soft for their liking. These might seem like minor things, but they can definitely add up. So, the million-dollar question is, when you weigh all the good against the bad, what's the final verdict on the Hyatt House? Is it the right call for you? Well, if we look at the scorecard, the hotel gets a very respectable 4.4 out of 5 overall. Location, no surprise, is the big winner at 4.7. But here's the number that gives me a little pause. Value. It comes in at a 4.3. Now that's not a bad score, but it is the lowest of all the categories, and it suggests some guests feel like they're not quite getting enough bang for their buck.
And when you see the price, that 4.3 for value starts to make a whole lot more sense.
At around $290 a night, this is not a budget hotel by any stretch. So you really have to ask yourself if that convenience is worth the premium price.
So who is this hotel really for? Well, it seems perfect for travelers, especially families and people attending conventions who put location and those in-room kitchens above everything else. These are guests who are willing to be flexible and maybe risk some of those renovation-related headaches to get that prime convenience.
So ultimately, it really all boils down to this one question that you have to ask yourself. Is that incredible convenience, that 10-minute walk to the gates of Disneyland, worth the pretty steep price and the potential gamble on whether you'll get the room you actually booked? The answer is going to be different for everybody, but hopefully now you've got the facts to make that crucial decision for your trip.